Can you believe it's the 30th of November already? And the run up to Christmas, we're going to join myself and Max as we go back to part 2 of the Christmas gift guide. Enjoy.
On the other hand, I've actually gone cheaper here. So
Even
I
cheaper than
went
the
for
last time?
sort of in the same
all right.
ballpark. So hand grinder, and there was a showdown from we haven't named him yet, so Mr. Hoffman.
Okay. All right.
And there were actually some cheap hand grinder that actually they did look good, and that could be an option for someone that you don't really care much about, or it's you don't want to invest yourself too much. And these are the Henry Childs one, which is not so good. There is another one that was recommended, is the Hario Mini Slim, I think. These are all in the range of 25, 30 pounds, which is fair enough. It depends what you have to do, obviously, with it. If it's a coffee snob person, you don't really, I mean, I think that if a person is knowledgeable about coffee, you're not going to give them these kind of things because it's kind of looking for trouble.
Yeah, they're going to have expectations, but also no, it depends on whether you're talking about trying to hand grind espresso, which is much harder than hand grinding for a pour over.
He was specifically targeting pour overs.
Yeah, much easier. Yeah,
but taste buds are taste buds, and you have to consider who they belong to. So there is one that is going to have a very, very trained taste buds. And then there is other people that are just happy to be able to grind their coffee and sort of tune it to their style. So you can then get beans, and that opens up, actually, it's a way into coffee.
Right.
Because it opens up possibilities. You get the possibility of getting for example, beans from small roasters, and that opens a lot of possibilities instead of having to stick to ground coffee. And that's how you get into this coffee addiction, really.
Yeah. No, there's some good choices there, and you don't always have to spend a lot of money. It's true.
Yeah, not to start with.
Yeah, no, definitely not to start with. All right, Max. So we both of us have gone with a hand grinder. That's interesting. We both chose one of those. Okay, so I'll jump back. I'm going to go for the cheaper end as well, and I'm going to say if they don't have a leveling tool, distribution tool, then get one of those for sure. Because nothing will make many things will have less impact than a leveling tool. A leveling tool will make quite a significant impact on your espresso extraction. As this is assuming that you're into espresso, you won't need this if you're doing pour overs. But if you want to know what a leveling tool is, you can go onto Amazon. There's a whole bunch of them there. You can get them from other places, coffee shops as well. And they do vary tremendously in price. So actually, this is kind of a flexible gift because you can get one at the low end. I saw them for around £15 or $15, all the way up to, you can spend over 100. I look sure that somebody who knows better than I do will explain to me why one's worth £100. And you can get some that have kind of nice features in terms of they tamper well as well a little bit, and they do other things. But I just want mine to make my coffee level, hence the word leveler. So all you want to do is you want to look out for one that has the ability you can usually spin the top part off and change the depth of the metal part that does the leveling. So just to explain what this is a little round, looks like a hockey puck shaped thing that you put on top of your espresso basket. And it's got a heavy metal base with a simple pattern on there, a couple of ridges, and there's probably a better way of describing it, at an angle. And what this does is you spin the hockey puck when it's sitting on top of your basket, and it just distributes the coffee all around the portafilter and makes sure it gets pushed out to the edges and so forth as well to help stop channeling. And it gives you at the end of it a lovely sort of flat level finished basket that you can choose to tamp or not. But it just means that you're not having to worry about little pockets of, or not worry so much, but little pockets um, of uh, of
Of
uh,
air.
of air inside the coffee on the top, where they can form, or helps declump it a little bit, and just basically gives you a better finish for your coffee before you tamp it.
Hmm.
And if you're using a bottomless portafilter, if you know what I'm talking about, if you're using a bottomless portafilter and you level, you will notice significantly better pores than you will do extraction. As you're looking at that bottomless portafilter, you can see how the extraction comes through it. And if you don't use any kind of leveling, you just tamp, put it in there, the results can be kind of horrific and messy, and very messy.
Yeah.
So leveling tool, one that is adjustable in terms of height, so that you can, if you're putting more or less coffee in there, you can set it to the right height. Those are not expensive, and if you or your partner doesn't have one, they should definitely put that on their list.
Hmm. That's very
Over to you,
interesting.
Max.
So I've actually gone for a subscription.
Oh God, you haven't picked the same one I picked, have you?
No. So
Okay.
you could actually subscribe and help small businesses in the UK. For example, you could subscribe to a coffee service. What it is? The one I took is the coffeeroasters.co.uk. It's thecoffeeroasters.co.uk. What they do is what he does, actually. I think it's one guy. He selects coffees, taste them, and so you have sort of a ballpark figure of what you're going to expect. And you can actually get a subscription to either one of them. There is a database of all of the roasters that are in that project, in that platform, or you can actually get a different coffee every week or every 2 weeks. It's you can choose your package. And I forgot how expensive it is. I
I've
think
seen them
it's
in the UK. I've seen them in the US as well. It's actually
yeah.
not a bad idea. So someone basically is out there curating the different coffees from different roasters, and they put them in packages, and you say what your preferences are. And they say, okay, you like this kind of coffee, I'm going to make a package for you once a month or whatever. And you're right. It's really not much more expensive, or I'm
Yeah.
not even sure it's any more expensive than going
No,
to
it's not
Express
actually.
Direct.
But I'm not sure that that's the case. You can select that kind of service, or you can just select random service. So you just try them all over the
Yeah.
course of a year,
Yeah. As
which
long
is
as you
great,
go to
actually.
one, it's just, I would say, to pick one that's quality,
Hmm.
and is going to give you roasts from quality roasters, because you can
Yes.
get them from, I mean, everybody's trying to do a subscription service, and you can get some that are pretty rubbishy coffee.
Yeah.
I've seen people get bad subscriptions where they got rubbishy coffee, but I've also seen some. I saw one a few weeks ago, which I can remember the name of it, but they, I think it's like the one you were talking about, maybe. But they had top name roasters.
Yeah. These are all
Their
small
list.
roasters. I mean, small.
Yeah, credible roasters,
Yeah,
right?
credible roaster. I mean, the first example I have is Casa Espresso, which they don't
Yeah,
mess around.
yeah,
So we know that they're very good.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's actually very reliable, and I found many very interesting coffees through this website. One is the one from Windsor, which I forgot again. But anyway, go in there, and that's actually a very interesting website, and it's a very good service, and it supports local businesses.
Yeah, it's a great idea. Actually, people would love that, because if somebody is at the beginning of their journey, relatively early on, and they've tried just maybe coffee from the supermarket, or
Mhm.
they've gone to one place online where they're buying coffee, then actually they don't know what they're missing out on, and they can get a whole, like, it will open their eyes by realizing that there's so many different types of coffee,
Yeah.
different flavors, and different experiences that is awaiting them. It's a great choice. Okay, so I am going to pick for my next pick. It's quite a simple one, but it's a book I bought. at the beginning of the year. So last year, so about a year ago, it's called Craft Coffee, a Manual. And it's a relatively small book. It costs £12.99, or same
Ooh,
in dollars, on Amazon. And it's just a very good book. It's just a very good book. In terms of the, even I think I know a reasonable amount about coffee, but going through this, even going through the basics, the brew guides, I was learning things, going through the great section on all the different varieties and the history of how those varieties came around. So it's an easy to read book. It's not too heavy. It's not too academic. But it is going to have something in there, I'd say, for almost everybody at whatever level they're at. And it's a very approachable price at £12.99
that's
delivered.
very nice, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Max.
Yeah, so we were talking about it on the last podcast or YouTube video,
Yeah.
depending on which platform you're listening or watching us. Milk frother,
Yeah.
because you might not have an espresso machine, or you don't have either the power, the time, the willpower, the bother, or the skill to make proper cappuccinos. Actually, those are perfect because they heat up the milk at the right temperature without overdoing it, which means that the milk is going to taste great, which is a very important thing, because when you steam the milk, it's very easy to overdo it, and then you break down lactose, which tastes horrible, which tastes like burnt milk.
Hmm.
And that doesn't happen there because they're actually set to a certain temperature. And on top of that, you can even froth cold milk, which is a great thing. And they cost about 25, 28 pounds. There are also frothers that are 14 pounds, 15 pounds, but those are the ones that you put in and
Yeah.
they whisk the thing about, which I wouldn't recommend that. I mean, for 10 pounds more, you get a heated one. So why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
So yeah, about 30 pounds,
Have you
and you
got a
have a
name of
very
one?
nice
Is there
thing.
a name of one that you've got?
Actually, there are the Nespresso ones, but I found that they're more expensive because obviously you
The
pay
name.
the brand. There is one just in front of me. There is Lavazza Modo Mio, which is 39 pounds, which is also okay. It's a bit on the expensive side. And then I have the Vava or Miroko, which they look exactly the same on Amazon, which is suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
And they also, but one is 39.99 and one is 28 something, which was 39.99. I wonder why.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're the same thing. And then there is another one that is a Swan. I mean, literally, go on Amazon. Anything is good because it's a very simple thing. The
Right.
price range is between 25 and 30 pounds, what you're looking probably at.
Great. I've actually got one of those little hand ones. These ones you said don't recommend getting, but I didn't get that for coffee. I got that for hot chocolate.
Ah, yeah.
So I mix my. But what I would just say to anybody who gets one of those is the first time you use it, hold it over the sink, because if you're like me, you don't realize how powerful these things are, and there's a technique to it about where you put it in the milk. I covered myself literally. It's like one of those comedies. I covered myself in hot chocolate. So that's actually a good tip. If you don't have an espresso machine, you're making coffee maybe with an AeroPress or a mocha pot or something like that.
That's
Then,
actually great for mocha.
oh my God, this is almost like you read my mind, because guess what's on my list next?
Oh, a mocha pot.
It is a mocha pot, but this is a special
Oh.
mocha pot because this is because they want to do one different. Okay, everybody knows what a mocha pot is. If you don't know what a mocha pot is, then that's absolutely fine. Get a mocha pot. And by the way, so pro tip is you can actually go and get lots of different designs for mocha pots. I mean, generally the general
There's only
design
one
of them
design
is
for mocha pot, and it's the Bialetti one.
that's actually no, but on the Bialetti one, there's different designs. And I'm not talking about the mechanical design. I'm talking about the colors and the things that you can get them
No,
in different.
it has to be a ball, an hexagon of aluminium, and it's shaped
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
hourglass.
It's a
That's it.
hexagon of aluminium. It's made out of aluminium. This is how they are. but you can get them like in yellow, and you can get them with yeah, it's a yellow one. You can get them with a little um, pictures on the side, and they're very cute and they're very nice and they're very fun. So definitely have a look at one of those. However, they also make an electric one.
Mhm.
And so this is an opportunity again. I don't know why I got this whole traveling thing in my mind. My theme is
I don't know, where do
traveling.
you want to go?
I just want to get out, man. I just want to go to I want to go to Vietnam. I want to go to Vietnam, obviously, and I'm going to wait until the tornado goes through or whatever, the hurricane.
Okay.
But I was there actually when the last time hurricane hit, and it was disaster. We were in Nha Trang, my older son and myself. Anyway, but they've got great coffee in Vietnam. That's a lot of fun. So, but let's say you're going somewhere and you're not
Forest.
in, well, not going to the field, no, because you need electricity. But you're going somewhere and you just want to make sure you get some decent coffee with you, but you're maybe into the kind of coffee you get from a mocha pot as opposed to an espresso. Not
Mhm.
big an espresso, you kind of want to like have a cup of joe. And a mocha pot's a great way to get a cup of joe, actually, because
Who?
a cup of joe, that's an Americanism. That means coffee, Max.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can, if you like mocha pot coffee, but you want one on the go, did you know they do electric ones? And there's a couple of choices. In the UK, there's something called, go look up or Google, or we'll have in the link somewhere, Miss Mocha Prestige Electro.
Ooh.
In fact, I think you can, yeah, it's also available on Doppio in
Mm.
the UK. So yeah, in the UK, they've got one called the Miss Mocha Prestige Electro.
Mhm.
And it is basically a mocha pot that you can plug into the main. So if you're going to a hotel up in, I don't know, somewhere in the UK, and you just think, oh my God, I can't stand the thought of being in this hotel and drinking their horrible Nescafe, granulated coffee or whatever it is, and take this with you. And you can plug it in and you can make yourself some really nice coffee. You might need a hand grinder, but luckily we've recommended a few.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, your partner gave you a hand grinder, so you're fine.
So there we go. We've got you. We've got you covered.
Yeah.
In the US, the one that you pronounce better than me, the Biagletti. Biagletti.
Bialetti.
What did you call it?
Bialetti.
That's what I said. They do a mocha electric, and they got some great designs and things as well. And you can find those, I think, on Amazon.
Actually,
And
I'll tell you more. There
places.
are some that you can program to come up in the morning, and they will brew coffee in the morning for you. So you wake up to the sound of the mocha and the smell of coffee, which is amazing. Because the
Yeah,
sound of the mocha is
it's
one
the
of
only
the
way to
most
wake up.
soothing and zen
The little
sounds.
bubbling. It's like a little
Yes,
bubbling brook, but it
it's the.
comes with coffee. Yeah.
It's
It's actually
amazing.
making me want to have a cup right now. That is actually, I love that smell. It produces a beautiful aroma as
Yes,
well, doesn't it? Those mocha
but
pots.
one thing:
What?
if you buy one, do not wash it.
This is the whole,
You don't
yeah.
wash a mocha,
You don't
not with
wash
soap.
mocha. I've made that mistake. But then how do you keep the fungus from building up?
You rinse it with water and you dry it. That's it.
Oh, okay. Because I didn't wash it at all and I got fungus. And then I
Yeah,
did
I mean,
wash it and then you ruin it. And so I wasn't sure what the hell to do.
rinse it with
You
water, but
rinse
not.
it.
You don't
Okay.
wash it. Wash it.
Okay. All right. So Max, over to you.
Yeah, this is exciting. Actually,
I know we got Max has got one more or two more. You
I've
got two
got
more?
two more and
Got
one
two
in
more.
in the pockets of my mind,
Okay. Okay.
which I
Let's go.
forgot, but I will come up with something.
Okay.
There is, if you don't like your friends very much, there is the Belma. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I wanted to find some stuff that you actually, it's a
Mm-hmm.
bit funny, and that's why I prepared the presentation.
I
But
got a
I
presentation.
can't, I can't show it.
You can't.
I can't show it.
Thank
Anyway,
God.
it's okay. I can't.
You have me to thank for that, audience. Max cannot show his PowerPoint slides.
Oh God, dreadful. That's disgraceful. Anyway, I found on the brewtool.co.uk, which is a website that probably came up literally after hearing us doing this thing, because I haven't seen it before and I haven't seen it after. There is the Bellman Stovetop Milk Steamer.
Oh.
Now, what is that? That is literally a bomb. It's a pot that you fill with water, you close it, and then it has a valve, and you put it on the top until it gets pressurized a lot, like a
Hmm.
pressure cooker or something. So
Hmm.
1.4 bar, give or take. There is no way I can see a valve, a gauge in there. So I don't know how you tell if it's pressurized enough or not. And it has a milk frother on the side. So you have a handle on one side and the milk frother that comes out of it, and you use that with your hand, and you can froth milk in theory, or scorch yourself to death, one of the two. But
I think I've seen this, and the key, and it works, but the key is knowing when the pressure is right, because there's no way
yeah,
of knowing, and you just have to you'd have to know,
yeah, I
trial
don't
and
know.
trial and error.
I don't know. Pressurized vessel with water, with lots of water, that is out of my control on a stove top. I have to think, and I
Sounds good to
forget
me.
things in the
Yeah, yeah,
morning,
yeah.
especially.
Sounds great. Nothing can
And
go
then you
wrong.
have to handle it. And it's 69 pounds.
That's right. Yeah,
69 pounds.
yeah. I've
Get
seen
a
this.
frother.
Yeah, yeah. And
Get a frother. Or if you don't like, this is for example, if you don't like your friends.
I think this one's for engineering people. So people who like engineering stuff, and they because they love to fiddle and work out the logarithmic chances of this thing blowing up in their face
Yeah,
and time it just right. Yeah, so that's right. Yeah, it's an interesting. I think it looks quite nice as well, doesn't it?
it
Okay.
honest, not really, but
Well,
my personal taste. It's kind of I don't know. It's like a pot with another pot on top.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. So I'm going to go next. We're going to move this along. So this is going to be a quick one. It's only going to take a two seconds to talk about. But if your person, your partner, or you are not cleaning your coffee machine, you've got an espresso machine, then throw this into the mix, which is the Pulley Puly coffee cleaning kit.
Hmm.
Because if they don't know they're supposed to be cleaning their espresso machines, again, they're going to have a huge like realization of what they've been missing when they clean all the rubbishy resiny guck off of their shower screen on the espresso basket, underneath the espresso basket, and it's going to really make a big difference on the flavor. So a lot of bitterness. You'll actually, if you're not cleaning a machine, you'll notice these really nasty aftertaste you get with your coffee, and you'll be thinking you're doing something wrong. And a lot of the times people just haven't cleaned their machine. So what this does is this comes with a small kit. It's 18 pounds or dollars, and you can get it in lots of different places. It's a relatively small little package. In there, you'll get some cleaning chemicals. I think you get a little blind kit. I mean, you may not do. If you're not sure what that is, it's I have to check actually, and a brush. But you need to have the little blind kit. What that is normally where you put the basket, where you put the coffee, which has little holes in the bottom. It's
Hmm.
like that, but without the holes. And what you do is you put a scoop of the chemicals in that, and you run your machine, and the hot water comes out, got nowhere to go, hits the chemicals, gets all bubbly, goes back up and hits the shower screen where the water's coming out with all the
Hmm.
nasty guck attached to it. It dissolves those chemicals. You let that run for sort of 15 seconds or so, and you run that a few times,
Yeah.
and it just the rubbish that you see coming out, the color, the dirty, nasty color of the water coming out, makes you realize that that it's done a great job. And so then you do that, and then you also take your baskets and you let them soak in a Tupperware box or something you're not going to eat out of next, and let the soak overnight with some chemicals as well. I do it once a week, and it just keeps me ticking over.
I
Yeah,
dismantle the coffee machine and clean it.
you dismantle, or just get a toolkit and some rags. And an instruction manual. It won't take them more than half a day,
Yeah.
to do, and that's the alternative. So Max, over to you.
Yeah. I have actually gone nuts here. I'm You're
Well,
never gonna guess
some
it.
might argue that happened a while back, but go on.
Probably, but don't tell anyone. Good thing this is not public.
Yeah.
An espresso coffee machine.
Okay.
Why not?
I don't know.
It's again, it depends, of course, who you're dealing with. But if it's a person that likes coffee but doesn't like the fuss about making the coffee,
Uh-huh.
or it's a hint that the coffee that your partner, friend, or whatever makes is not very good, get one of those.
Yeah.
You can't mess it up. They're actually very good machine.
So which
They
machine are
are
you talking about?
any really. The basic one is it has exactly the same internals as the more expensive ones because they have a running boiler, so a
So
boiler
no,
that heats up.
which manufacturer? I maybe I missed it.
Nespresso.
Oh, an
Nespresso.
espresso.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah,
okay. The
yeah. Nespresso.
Nespresso machines. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, not an espresso
I
machine,
thought
but
you said an
a
espresso.
Nespresso.
A Nespresso machine. Okay.
Mhm.
It all becomes clear.
It comes, of course, with it has to come with capsules, and the capsules are more expensive than coffee if you do the calculations and everything. But it's very, very consistent. So if you find a coffee that you actually like, you're gonna have the same coffee over and over, and you can't really screw that one up.
Yeah.
The internals are exactly the same. So unless you go for the super fancy ones that have something crazy, they have a pump.
hmm
They have boiler that is just a serpentine in aluminium normally, or there's a copper pipe inside it that heats up the water as it goes through, and then it goes to the capsule. The capsule is held into a holder,
hmm
and then the coffee comes out. That's it.
So pro tip, because we're going to give it a little bit away, but we've been testing
Hmm.
espresso machines here. So pro tip is that I would recommend that you do not go for the latest version, the Virtuo
True.
capsules, which I did.
They are better
Uh,
capsules. They extract better.
they may well be, but if I was going to do it again, I would go with the old fashioned ones. Why? Because the patent ran out on them, and you can get capsules from lots of different third parties,
Yes,
including some possibly much nicer coffee.
I have done that, and all of the coffees I tried, the other ones, I've always tried supermarket ones because they are from supermarket.
hmm
They were rubbish.
Yeah,
They were actually bad.
there's loads of rubbishy coffee, but there's lots of also now specialty coffee
Mm.
that you can get in those the older ones are kind of like these smaller
Yeah, yeah. The,
little
the
capsules,
classic
the classic original
Nespresso capsule.
Nespresso capsules.
Yeah.
There's a lot of choice, and a lot more choice in those. So I would potentially go for one of those. Also, the other thing is little pro tip on. There's a lot of talk about the recyclability and environmental impact of capsules, but I would say don't worry too much about it for a couple of reasons. One, because it's actually a lot more complex than it appears at first. It is not just the recyclability of the capsule. It is actually, if you're making espresso, I'm afraid, this is a horrible thing. This is almost like sacrilege to say this, Max. You might have to take your headphones off and close your ears for a minute.
Mm.
But making espresso with an espresso machine has a far bigger environmental impact footprint than it does from using an espresso capsule, actually. Yeah, there's a bunch of studies I've been reading up on it. It's going to be something we'll be writing
Very
about later.
interesting.
Yeah, but also the big issue with these aluminium capsules
Mhm.
is that they are difficult to recycle because they got a plastic top on them, and so they have to be separated. And so you used to have to take them to a specialist center or
Mhm.
put them in a bag and then take them to or get someone to collect them, and it was a pain in the ass. And so even though Nespresso said that these are recyclable, the reality was only about something like 20% was actually getting
Yeah.
recycled. That's changed.
Actually, I have to say one thing in defense of Nespresso.
hmm
It's not their fault because I had a
No,
machine like that. They give you bags for free whenever you go and buy the capsules. You get free bags and free collection stickers, so you
yeah.
can actually go to a collection plus point
hmm
and give away the bag.
It's
They will
it's
collect it for
it's
free.
it's going to get easier, Max. They've just literally last week announced. You didn't read our website. Shame on
No.
you. I'll get my book. Where's my book? Max's malfeasance book out and make a note.
It's too small.
Yeah, well, we've that's all right. This is I've got several of them. Max, not reading website. Okay. And so what we actually did was this week Nespresso's come out and said that they've done a deal, I think, with Yodel in the UK. Anyway, I'm not sure where else they're doing it, but their plan is to make it simple for you to just put your capsules in to the recycling waste, and the councils will recycle it. So they are making it even easier to do. So good for them. I think capsules are going to, and part of the reason for this, I think capsules have a potentially very large growth trajectory ahead of them.
Yeah,
but we
absolutely.
digress. So over to me. Thanks, Nick. We are going to be, since we're talking about machines, why not, if you're a little bit more artisan than would go with an espresso machine, why not go with something like a flare espresso?
Ooh.
And exactly. Ooh is right. And so if you haven't heard of Flare, where have you been? But Flare have been around for a while, and they make this kind of single espresso lever machine. It looks beautiful. It's kind of fiddly to set up, and you have to preheat it and all that kind of stuff. They've got 3 different versions of the machine. And they can get quite expensive. The top end, the Pro 2, which I think you can't even get yet, it's on back order or the pre-order or whatever the word is, can go up to sort of 350, 400 pounds /dollars, which is too much, frankly, for what it is. Sorry, but you can get into the experience with the standard kind of regular one for about 140 pounds /dollars. And for that, you get there are some limitations to it, but none of them are important enough to really make a difference. If you want to go and spend, if you've got all the money, you want to go and spend 400 pounds /dollars on a single lever, flare espresso machine, knock yourself out. You will get something that takes more coffee, that has a much heavier base, had better heat retention and stuff like that. But at the end of kind of, who cares? Just get the basic one, heat it up a little bit beforehand. The reviews that I've read, I'm going to go and buy one, but the reviews I've read beforehand, and I've read a lot of different reviews over the last year, 2 years or whatever they've been running, of all the different models, people who actually use it on a regular basis say, do you know what? At the end of the day, it's not that much more work than other ways of making coffee.
Yeah, exactly.
And if we're talking about ceremony and the interest and the love of doing it, it's lovely. But most importantly, it makes really good espresso. So this is the Flare espresso. I can't describe it if you don't know what I'm talking about. To go look at it, because you have to kind of see it to understand what it is. It's a beautiful design. It's portable. It's made out of quality materials, and it makes nice espresso. And it's about 140-ish pounds /dollars if you go for the standard one. So that's my second to last pick. Did you have one more, Max?
I have one more. And this is the one that if you really like your friends a lot, and I know that, Nick, I know you like me a lot. I'm just gonna say,
yeah,
it's you could get them an Niche Zero. Why not?
Oh, God,
why not?
Yeah,
I need it, for example. Just saying.
I know there's something about, I want to be kind of anti-counterculture. No, not anti-counterculture. I want to be counterculture. The thing about the Niche Zero, I like everything about it except the fact that trendy people have it. I want to be anti-trendy.
I know, but it's one of the smallest coffee grinders I've seen, one of the best looking coffee grinders I've seen. It's one of the best designed coffee grinders I've seen.
Yeah.
And it's one of the few ones, if not one of the only ones, that is designed for single dosing, and it doesn't cost 3,000 pounds. Because
how much does it cost? It was 700.
500 pounds.
500 pounds.
Only 500 pounds.
Only 500
Only
pounds.
500 pounds.
Only 500 pounds /dollars, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a very expensive.
Why don't we all have one?
Yeah, I know. I think we should. I think it's a great idea. I think actually it's a great piece of kit.
Yeah.
For what
I think I spent more on my grinder than that. My Atom, whatever it is, but I like my little Atom thing. Even though the Niche Zero probably would have made a lot more sense to me, but it is a good choice. It is a lovely grinder. Everyone, a lot of people use it and they love it. Good choice. 500 quid. Thanks, Max. Yeah. I'll take one. So my final thing, but it's not really my final thing, but my final thing on the list, I've got like a little ace up my, I got a little, what do you call it?
Ooh.
A card. I've got a card up my sleeve. But my final thing is, and this is quite interesting, this is a new thing. And sorry, in America, those Americans listening cannot do this. This is exclusive to the UK at the moment. And that is from our friends over at Carvetti. They have just launched, and Max, congratulations. I'll be signing you up to this, by the way. Genuinely, I will be signing up. We're going to do this together. We're going to do this together. We're going to sign up to their monthly coffee tasting club. But it's with a difference. They're doing it differently. It's kind of interesting. They are going to send out once a month ground coffee, not beans that you grind, but ground coffee for doing cupping sessions. Once a month, you'll get some small packets of coffee that they will grind fresh and send over to you. And they'll say, grind it fresh, pack it, and then send it to you. And the reason they do that, I thought, you're crazy, man. You're crazy fool. Because obviously no one wants to, you want a freshly ground coffee. But the point of this isn't to have lovely coffee to drink. The point of this is to actually improve our sensory experience and our ability to taste different coffees and talk about them.
Funny that they came up with these after we did our blending exercise.
It's suspicious, isn't it?
Very suspicious.
I think Gareth is really playing off of our talent here. I'm sure so now what he's done is actually kind of clever, and I like this idea because it bucks the trend of what you'd expect by doing the pre-ground thing, but it kind of just makes sense. And here's why it makes sense. It's because if he sends out the beans, what grinder have you got, Max? And what grinder have I got? And what grinder has the next person got? And how's he going to grind it? I wonder what conditions. Does it have any residue in that grinder or any retention?
Exactly.
It's going to mess it up. You can't do it. If you want everybody to compare and to talk on a apples to apples basis, they've got to, as much as possible, you've got to take out the variances. So obviously we can brew it differently and everything else, but that can be controlled to some degree. But the grinding is going to be very difficult to control. It's such an important part of the whole process. So he takes that variable out and instead says, no, I'm going to grind the coffee. I'm going to send it to you. So once a month, you get a bunch of different coffees. And then we go through a little cupping session. We taste it, and he's got like an online forum where we talk about it, what we got out of it, and then he answers questions and so forth. So it's kind of a learning journey, and that it is very interesting. And you can have there's 3 different levels of subscriptions on Patreon. There's 3 different levels of subscription that go from £9 to £25 a month. I've got you on the cheapest one, Max. But I think there's the middle one is like, I'm going to say 12 or 13 pounds, or maybe it's 20.
So it's like a coffee subscription, really.
Well, also,
what are you looking at?
Well, for the 2 upper levels, he actually sends you a kit as well, the whole cupping kit. Okay. But I've got a kit. I don't know if you've got a kit, but no, you just need a spoon.
I have cups.
You have cups. You need cups that are of the same kind of. Yeah, we'll talk about it. But anyway, so what he'll do as well is, I think 3 or 4 times a year, he'll also send you some beans of whatever. It's like he's doing some latest thing, like his new blend or whatever, his seasonal blend. So for frankly, for £9 a month, you get all of that. You get all of that.
It's what, £120 a year.
Yeah,
and slightly under.
Yeah,
it's a good gift.
It's a good gift. It's an interesting one that I don't know anyone else is doing. And it gets you into a community where to talk about coffee. So if you're really into coffee and you actually want to take it beyond whatever you read on a website or whatever, and actually talk to real people and experts on their forum, and you want to be getting some coffee, some actual real, something you can experience, as well as some beans 2 or 3 times a year, 3 or 4 times a year. That's a good choice. So I'm going to be signing ourselves up to that, Max, and I wanted to end on that one, but not really end, because out comes my
because you could also if you like your friends, you could also get them a Nova Simonelli Oscar 2 that someone between these 2 has for sale.
I don't think you're really trying to sell it at all. I think you're just pretending to
sell it.
You're pretending to your wife that you're trying to sell it.
No,
but
I
actually,
am trying to sell it.
You're okay. Well, Max,
only for £150.
Only for, is that really?
Yeah, you want it?
Sorry, how much?
$450.
I thought you said 150.
Hey, yeah.
what? No, 450. That's a fair price. It's actually a very fair price. No, I don't want it because it doesn't fit in my on my countertop. And also, frankly, it's actually a really good machine for people who like milk drinks, which I don't drink at all. So,
Fair enough.
so my card, my joker,
Your Joker.
my joker up the sleeve that I had was actually the thing that I highlighted in my email to you, Max, on my shopping list of what I actually wanted. And that is you can get it from, I'll send you the link, Max, in case you're wondering where to find it. You get it from a website called goldgenie.com. It's a 24 karat gold coffee maker. I have no idea if it makes a coffee, probably not, but it doesn't matter because it's 24 karat.
24 karat gold.
Yeah, with crystal. And it also has semi-precious stones encrusted at various encrusted stones, embedded, encrusted. I don't really know where that crusted sounds kind of like dodgy a bit. But look, it's got the stones in there. It's at a very reasonable £12,600.
That's actually cheaper than some coffee machines.
It actually is.
It doesn't even sit on the high range.
I would prefer this over a Lamazocco.
Or I mean the. Oh God!
This is beautiful, and I can't describe it. It's got a it's very old fashioned looking. It's not a modern thing. It looks like it's on a green marble base, and then coming up on one side you've got like a crystal decanter, and on the other side you've got a gold cylinder, and there seems to be a tap there. And I imagine the water goes into the crystal cylinder. The gold cylinder probably does the brewing of some kind, and then there's a I think it's a tap. I'm not really sure.
So let me get this straight. So the whole machine is made out of gold.
No, well, obviously not the crystal bits and the marble base.
Apart from the crystal bits, but the whole machine is made out of gold.
Well, I mean, I need to look at their terms and conditions.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Here's what it says. Okay. Only 8 of these are made, Mac. Only 8. You'll be one of 8 people in the world dumb enough. Sorry, rich enough.
You're gonna be super special.
A real snowflake. Only 8 bespoke coffee makers are produced each month. Sorry, with each
you're
one
gonna
numbered.
be super special once a month.
So once a month is special, and then you're yesterday's news. It takes more than 50 hours of painstaking workmanship. I'd really like to know exactly what they mean by painstaking, because I
don't know. Maybe they whip them on the back or something.
Well, I would want to see. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to see, evidence. I want to see evidence of them in pain when they're making this.
I mean, if you open it up, in the back, there's written, "Help, please."
Yeah, there's a little note in there.
Me.
That's what I want to see. And then I know that it's really, there's a lot of effort that's gone into making this. So working alongside a team of skilled sculptors, metallurgists, and engineers. We have recreated the historic balancing siphon used by royalty in the 1800s, turning the art of brewing coffee into a ceremony. Ground coffee is first placed in the baccarat crystal carafe.
So hot it's a water siphon.
Poured. Yeah. Shh. I'm listening. Just listen. I was on a roll. I was actually doing well. Hot water poured into the boiler pot, and then the baccarat burner vase is lit. Next, the fully automated system allows heat, steam, and gravity to brew the coffee in the crystal vase, or vase in America, vase over here. And we currently, oh God Almighty! So they're booked. They're fully booked until next year. But if you want to get on the order, you want to get a place in line. You can't even buy it. Sorry, Max, you can't buy that for me. I know you were planning on it, but
but I can get you some physics lessons on conductivity, and so today, boys, we discover why we don't make coffee machines fully in copper.
It's fully booked, Max. They're fully booked until next year.
Don't worry, we're gonna hear the screams of people touching it, because gold is a better conductor than copper.
Yeah.
So I really want to know what kind of temperature it reaches.
Look, it's not only the engineers that had a painstaking workmanship. Every time you use it, it's going to be painstaking.
Yeah, it's probably also the testers. They go like,
Yeah. Then you stick to it because your flesh burns on it.
that's
So anyway,
unique.
that's where we're going to end it up, Max. So I don't know how long that took because I forgot to start my timer.
Oh dear
Was it
God.
more than 5 minutes?
I think it was a little more than 5 minutes. Yeah,
Oh,
I
damn,
think it was like
my
well
dad
over
told
an
me,
hour.
oh God, my dad said, please stop making them so long. So, all right, sorry, Dad. We're gonna try harder next week. It was Max's fault because he talked too much.
Totally
That's
me.
it. That's next week, Max. What are we doing?
I'm gonna.
No, I would. No, I'm okay. Well, we got. Well, no. I think we're gonna do the Nespresso.
We could do the Nespresso.
Let's do the Nespresso, and also I'm dropping off that coffee to you, which is good, really good.
Nice.
I mean, really good. I mean,
Okay.
it's dark roast, right? So it's not any kind of hoi polloi fancy. It's
a dark roast. Are you bringing me a dark roast?
Bringing you 3 dark roasts, buddy.
Oh my God, what happened to you?
Are
you
just
okay?
No, because you know what it was? Because we needed to order Indian. Remember we said we're going to find Indian and Mexican.
Yeah.
So I found this one place that does Indian and Mexican coffees, but it was only dark roast. So that's what we went with. But I'm not
nice.
I'm not worried.
It's so spicy.
It's beautiful. Look, it's dark roast coffee, but it's dark roast coffee at its best. I'm going to give it away a little bit, but maybe you'll hate it. All right, buddy.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? You're going to love it. It's fantastic. You have a great Saturday and Sunday. I will see you. Actually, I'm going to see you tonight because I'm driving over with the coffee. But I'll see you after tonight next week.
Oh, yeah.
Take care.